What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Team of the Season Kevin De Bruyne's road to FIFA 16, and we're going to kick today's episode off by actually taking De Bruyne out of the team. Unfortunately, in the last game of the last episode, he picked up a knock, so he was out for just the one game. Thankfully, it is only the one game. We end up having to do a bit of jigging around with fitness and everything and contracts, but we're about to go into our first game, and he's got a pretty average team. He has got an informer, Dermich up front, and a Rudnev, but other than that, he's completely bronze, as you'll see now. But a couple of things I want to mention, first of all, in today's episode. It would be fantastic if we could hit 15 likes in today's video. This series has done really well for me since I started it, but the last episode seemed to just drop off a little bit as far as views and likes are concerned, and it would just be really nice to know that everyone is still enjoying the series and you do want me to continue doing it, because it is something that I'm enjoying. If you're not, I'd rather just end it and do something else, but hopefully you are still enjoying it, and just share that with the support and the thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. But other thing, I've just finished recording tomorrow's video, which is the next episode of my F1 button bounces back career mode, and I mentioned it in there, but my audio keeps on dropping off when I'm recording very randomly. I looked into it after I did the F1 video because it did still appear to be happening, and on the internet somewhere it said just changing the USB port that my mic's plugged into should make the difference, might fix it. So what a goal this is, by the way, absolutely awful. Yeah, I've swapped the USB ports around on the microphone, so hopefully that will fix the issue. So although you'll have it in tomorrow's video, you shouldn't have it in today's. If it is still happening, then I honestly haven't got a clue what to do. Let me know down in the comments if you know anything about microphones. It's a Blue Snowball mic, and like I said, the audio just seems to drop out a couple of times in the episode, really briefly, just like a quick down and then back up again, but I just don't know what's causing it. But as you can see, we do bounce back after defeating the last episode by kicking off with a 5-2 spanking in the first game. Really nice win, and that puts us well on course for promotion, and that was without De Bruyne as well, which was nice to see. But thankfully he was only out for the one game, so we will end up chucking him back in. But again, as I mentioned at the start, we actually have a few contract issues in today's episode. There's a lot of people that seem to be low on them, and we only had bronze ones at the time, so we end up having to go out and buy some gold ones sooner or later in today's episode. I think it's after the next game, maybe the one after that, but it is at that stage now where I think we're better off because of the players that we've got going out and actually buying contracts for them, rather than just selling the players and buying them back again, because they are players that I'm enjoying using. This formation as well, I should mention. I think it was last episode I said I was struggling with it a little bit. You can see that's the team we ended up going with, the classic Schürrle, Quadrado and De Bruyne in front three. And what a team this is, by the way. Team of the season Pastore, team of the season Marquinhos at right back, and then he's got Ibra and Cavani up front, and this guy scores an absolute worldie straight off the bat. Look at this for a hit. In off the bar, no chance Laurie's getting anywhere near that. And a quick spoiler, that's not even the best goal we concede in today's episode. I mean, there's a right world that we concede later on, but yeah, it's to the point where I don't think it's worth us going out and just buying new players. I'd rather stick with the players that we've got because they're doing quite well. So hopefully, oh, I've mentioned it, haven't I? I was talking about the formation. I beg your pardon. Yeah, the formation is growing on me. I was saying in the last episode I wasn't too sure about it, but it really is growing on me. I mean, I've got the better players for it now. I feel I'm using it a bit better. You can see we come back well in this game to take a 3-1 lead against this absolutely quality full PSG side that he had, and then he ended up going on and quitting. But yeah, the formation, I seem to be faring with it a lot better now. I did a couple of instructions actually at the start of the episode on the formation. I don't know if you saw that, but just telling the midfielders to stay back a bit more, and that seems to have made the world of difference for me. So we will be sticking with it for a little bit longer until I feel like we need to change up the teams. But you can see that win puts us on to 15 points. It's 19 to take the championship and just 16, I think it was, to get promoted. So it looks like we're odds on to get promoted, hopefully take the championship as well. And there you are, you saw we used to have our last few bronze contracts, and then we come across this team. And the one thing I'm noticing now, I think we're in Division 6, are we in? We are no longer, I mean, I know we played that Dermich team at the start that had just him and a lot of bronze players, but all the teams that I feel like we're coming up across now, as we go 1-0 up through Quadrado, I like, and he quit after 1-0. What's that all about? 1-0 and he quit. I mean, who does that? But anyway, all the teams that we're playing against now seem to be like proper, they wouldn't look out of place in Division 1 teams. I mean, the proper sweat teams, really good players in all positions most of the time, so it is going to start getting a lot more difficult now. But here's the contracts buying that I was talking about earlier. We need some contracts. We had a few coins. We had about 7k at the time, so I thought, you know what, we'll go out, buy 3 or 4, put them on some key players, and that'll keep them fresh then for a little while at least. So, but yeah, the teams that we're coming up against at the moment are really solid teams. I mean, we've got a pretty good team ourselves. I mean, we float up and down as whether we're on 100 chemistry or not. We're always up or around it, but not always on it. But still, it's a really nice team. And then this is what I mean about having quality teams. And this is the most frustrating game that I've played in the entire Laudrup and Pires, a couple of legends, a couple of team of the seasons there, Snidling, I didn't quite catch up with the one was. He goes 1-0 up after 16 minutes. Not the greatest there from Laurie, I don't think. Near post, doesn't cover himself in glory. And it takes us all the way to the 78th minute to get back into this game. And we absolutely bossed the entire game. That's why I ended up going for the swept goal there, because I was like, we need to score, and then this happens. Laurie didn't have the greatest game. I suppose you could say it's a bit unlucky there, but we do actually end up losing the game 2-1. And you'll get a brief look at the match stats at the end. He had 2 shots on target, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2 shots on target. We had 9 shots, 4 on target. It was just one of those games where it just wouldn't go in. It was so frustrating, and like I say, it does happen every now and then. Just one of those games. And then the final game of today's episode, again, really solid team. You're looking at Aguero, Rooney, Van Persie, Silva, Cuadrado. Really nice team. We needed to bounce back after the last result, and we do take a 1-0 lead after 21 minutes. Really nice finish. Cuadrado actually has a really good episode today. I mean, he probably outshone De Bruyne a little bit. I think he got about 4 or 5 goals in today's episode, if I remember correctly. But we had a pretty jammy penalty there. De Bruyne will just about put it in. I thought he was going to save it at the time, but he sort of did a bit of a big dive out to nowhere to the right-hand side. But he does actually get a goal back, and this is the worldie. Look at that from Sergio Aguero. I think that's better than the goal earlier on. We're even going to have a replay of that one. I mean, the finesse there. Laurie doesn't even move. So we conceded 2 incredible goals in today's episode without really scoring one ourselves, which is pretty mad. But he wasn't the greatest player. We seemed to get that goal and then didn't really do much else. We do make it 3-1 though. De Bruyne gets his goal. I think that might be his 2nd goal of the game, and he's only 2 goals of the entire episode. But like I say, 4 wins out of 5 in today's, and that 1 loss was really unlucky as well. So hopefully we can get back onto winning ways in the next episode. Like I said before, it'd be fantastic if we could smash 15 likes. Let me know you still want to be seeing this. That would be absolutely unreal. We win the title with that one as well, another 6k in the kitty, and now we can go on and improve the team a little bit more, fingers crossed. So I'll speak to you all in the next episode. Nidge out. Pretty special one, because we have got, as voted for by you people out there, Pink Christian Eriksen, the footies Christian Eriksen. He won his category, which was the 5-star weak foot category.